Is this the end of the experiment? I have no idea. It's the end of year 25. I do want to give you some reminders here. If this is the end, which we're about to find out in this episode, the folks that were involved in this managerial experiment are the patrons at the $10 a month or higher level, starting in December. So the folks that are pledging in November and it actually goes through on December 1st, that's going to be our first experiment. I'm going to have more coming out about that on the channel in terms of what experiments I'm going to be doing. But if you want to be involved with it and support the channel in that kind of a way, check out the link in the description below for Patreon. Without further ado, my friends, is Mateus still at Bristol Rovers? And did Spaceman Extreme disappear? No and no, but not necessarily in a bad way. Mateus Mendez is with Leeds. Spaceman Extreme. Wait a minute. They've both made a stop at Connor's Key. Or is it Quay? It's Key, right? Connor's Key. I think I said it right the last time. Short stint. Oh my. 2042, 2042, 2042, 2042, my friends. Let's see what happened. Okay. So he left of his own accord, right? We saw that at the end of the episode. He goes 6 months and then left to go to Leeds. All right. Anything crazy happening here? Sold a Brett Peck for $245K, right? Got knocked out by Telford in the Carabao Cup first round. They beat Chorley in the English FA Cup. And were knocked out by Notts County in the second round. And then they beat Telford in the Checkatrade. And then with Leeds, finished 17th. I think that's not great. Let's go take a look at Bristol Rovers. What was the... okay. You know, maybe it's like, let's not throw stones yet. 60% win ratio. The person who came after 25% win ratio. So Mateus was definitely not the reason for their struggles. Previous manager 50%, previous manager 23%, 25%. So you guys pointed out in the comments, he seems to be following Rafinha around. Like, where did he go? Because that's where you're going to be going next. Nottingham Forest. Enjoy. But he apparently got the sack. So 60%, 18, 3, and 9 is not the bad record, my friends. This guy, 5, 7, and 8. That's not doing it. That's not doing it. He's still employed. Goodness. So wait a minute. Okay, so it's not like he caused them to get relegated, but they finished, what was it, 7? Oh no, it was the next club. Okay, so he left somewhere like the 20th after this loss. But look at that run. That is quite the run. That is a lot. I mean, 2 losses to start the season, but then a really good run. And then it got a little bumpy, but you get the win in the FA Cup and the Checkatrade South Group C. You lose a couple games, all right. Get bounced out of the FA Cup so you can focus on the league. Win hosting Bolton. Continuing in the Checkatrade Trophy. You know, doing all right. And then other manager comes in. I would argue that's not as good. Without having done the math, I guess the green could be the cup competition. So let's just look here. This is really particular. He won 60% of his games. I don't think you could complain, honestly. But that's not a lot of draws, and that's a lot of green. Versus this looks to be more draws and losses and not as much green. Just saying. Just fine. So transfer history, he got hired in June and left in December. So essentially everything before here and maybe after here or something like this. So, all right. Yeah, because he sold this guy. So right in here somewhere. Again, I don't know why this disappeared. Doesn't make any sense. Even books, though, right, actually brought in less than what you paid or that you sold. So that was good. But then he was out. He's like, see you later. I'm out of here. And they finished 10th. On 70 points. We could do the math as to how many points he got, but let's not. So, arguably could have been a little bit higher if that other manager had won a couple more games. You know, they had a chance to kind of get close to that. I think you know, couple of the draws into wins, a couple of the losses into draws, something like that to get some points. Probably wouldn't have gotten them to 83, but they were close, I think you could say. But he leaves, when was it? December what? December 20th. Clicking all over it, and goes to Leeds, who had a bit of a season. Goodness, was it him? Okay, manager sacks, 43% win ratio over pretty much 3 years. 60, 30, and 49. Caretaker drew 2 games in 3 weeks. Mateus comes in 7, 8, and 9, 29% win ratio. But is it his fault? Okay, December 20th. We're just going to look. We'll look at all the competitions, but we want to look at the league. That's what's most important here. December 20th. So he loses his first game. Okay, so in terms of points, this will be easier, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, 15 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 24 points. Okay, 24 points. They end up in 17th. 24 points with 54 points. Now, is it an equal number of games to get get those 30 points? It looks like approximately it is. Yeah, I mean, it's roughly. It's not like it's a bunch more games at the very least. So I think you can argue he did a good job. Maybe. Not winning as much, but again, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. Yeah, and the rest being draws. Not terrible. Did he bring in anybody in the January window? Let's make sure we're looking at the right season. He brings in. Oh my! They did a player exchange for 800 grand. 575 for Jason Bancroft from Arsenal, 2.5 million from AMG. I'm just kind of curious. 3 starts, 2 subs on a 648. You spent 2.5 million on a player. Did he get injured or something? That's crazy. Oh, towards the end of the season, though, that's not really. I mean, he got a twisted ankle. He's out for a month, so he missed a good chunk of the second half of the season. I'm just kind of curious about these guys. 19 appearances, 16 starts, 662. Not any better, really. Player exchange. Come on, man. 11 starts, 6 subs, 6.66. Not great. Sold a player for all of 900 euros. Again, no totals down here because things. Theo Campbell was part of that player exchange. 8 million sold to Birmingham, Devin James. So they definitely balanced the books for sure. This upcoming season, nothing to report. In terms of expectations, expected to be 11th. Expected to be 11th. Really? After finishing 17th. So essentially the bookmakers are saying that was a blip, right? Prior to that, 13th, 12th, 5th, 8th, kind of dropping back to normal. This is a little bit below average. So that's what Mateus is up against. He's got a contract for another year. Pretty standard looking, you know, promotion and relegation rises and drops on his wages. I'm really happy that these guys have moved around so much because I think it has made it interesting, at least to me personally. Again, I'm probably missing something that I should be looking at. But he finally gets picked up by Kaunas Key. They signed him right before we recorded here, so less than a month ago. It's a 1-year deal, 7,000 a week. You know, somebody comes in for him, they got to pay 80%. Okay. So they're not obviously going to be in season yet. I don't think they're not. He's not going to have. He's already sold a player on a free, or let him go on a free, most likely. Anybody else released? Okay. Okay. That might be like youth prospects that he's cleaning house with, maybe. He's sending a message. Yeah, he doesn't have any games played. So they've won the league. I mean, it's a good place to go, I guess. They've won the league 4 of the last 5 seasons. A little bouncing up and down before that, but they stabilized, and they've had, right? It's kind of interesting. Separated by, what is that? Essentially 2 years. The last two, and Rafinha's there too. So like there must be a thing. There must be a thing. I'm not understanding that, but there's not really much to report right now. We'll have to go look at year 26 to see what's going on, and if he survives or goes somewhere else. And Cristobal is he's hanging in there, man. He's hanging there. Let's go to the, not year 25, year 26. Let's go to the next year, whatever the year it is. Come on, lads. What do you think happened? What are you thinking right now? I'm thinking he's left Kana's key. That's just me. Of course, it's the ambition. It's the lack of loyalty and the ambition. I love it. Hilarious. Mateus, look at this. Since 2041, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clubs. 5 clubs. In essentially like some portion of 2 years. 227. Okay, 3 years. Pretty much. Left of his own accord. Got knocked out by Arsenal in the 3rd round, which is understandable. Beat Swansea. Maybe they were like, seems like a pretty good manager. Finished 17th. Or did they finish 17th again? Okay, let's go. Let's get into the weeds here. No, they finished. Okay, that was partially his doing. They finished 10th. Tyrese John Jules, which I'm sure Arsenal fans will know, apparently. Going all the way back. Yeah, of course. Makes sense. I couldn't. Yeah. Anyway. Mateus, 34% win ratio. Slightly better. That's an increase of like 9%. 18, 12, and 22. Lost more games than you won. Not ideal. Definitely worse than the last manager that got sacked, but, he also had a longer stint. But we were definitely in sacking range, so maybe he's wised up and said, like, I'm getting out of here. Tyrese has won 47% of the games, so maybe just one good fit. One good fit, right? December 20th to December 29th. So he lasted a year. Let's go take a look. December 29th. I mean, they brought in one player. 325K in his stint, right? Now, and they sold a $4.7 million player, 4.7 million euro player. So I wonder if that had something to do with it, right? You that's not a like for like, right? Frank Munster's here. 6, 7, 8, not bad, but I'm just kind of curious. This guy going to Crystal Palace, did he even play? I mean, a 6-6-4 for Crystal Palace, which are they're in the championship as well. Never mind. But still, that's a I don't know, okay. Center back versus center back. Yeah, that's not a like for like in terms of, you just arguing off the values. So I'm kind of, maybe he was frustrated by that. Maybe. Okay. So he left after this game. We still just don't know. We got all the leagues. So we see Arsenal beating him. Yeah, kind of a tough run, right? You beat Wolves and Cardiff, and then that's it. September and most of October were unpleasant. Really quite unpleasant. Not a bad start, 2 of your first 4, you getting 2 points, and then you get a couple wins to wrap it up. But it wasn't going great, and then it definitely improved once he left. So maybe he just struggles in the English system. Who knows? But he goes instead to Swansea. And they finish 4th. Oh. Okay. Last guy left 44 of his own accord, 44%. 33%. 8, 9, and 7. Not terrible, not great. Comes in after this. Immediately loses to West Ham in the FA Cup third round, but gets a league win. Let's look at the points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 24 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 24 and 9 is 33 points. And let's see what they ended up with total wise. 33 points. Okay, 33 would be 43. Again, we'd have to count the games, but it looks relatively even. There might be a couple more games, maybe. But still, the form doesn't look as good as the previous manager, just by a fuzz, right? But hopping forward here, right? 76 points. Fulham got promoted, so you, because of right the playoff system, you lost, and you lost to Fulham 3-1 in aggregate, which I'm sure you already saw. You can get it out. I guess it should be comforting. You were nowhere near the 108 points that Wolves got to go, straight up. I don't know if that's comforting or not. There's a definitive gap here between the top two and the rest. Goodness me. Zoinks. They are expected this year, going down a little bit. 6th place. I guess you got Reading, Derby, and Aston Villa coming down. Expecting to do well. So he's got his work cut out for him. For sure. That is curious indeed, my friends. All right. Switching to Space Pit Extreme. When did he leave? And was it of his own accord? Yes. Left on New Year's Day to go to Leyton Orient. Head coach of the month for December. Oh, boy. Okay, so he didn't even go full season. I was thinking, where did they finish? They bought a player for $1.3 million. My goodness. Knocked out by Copenhagen in the Champions Cup first qualifying phase. Got to the Europa League third qualifying round, but lost to Larne. They got past Bratislava and got knocked out of the Nathaniel MG Cup, and then he was gone. They were still in the Welsh Cup. That's crazy. They end up winning the league, but does this even really matter? 65% win ratio. 19-3-7. Not bad, but doesn't really tell you a whole lot. That's just so interesting that they've done that. They've kind of followed, and then Rafinha's been there too. Finished 8th in the league. Won the Checkatrade Trophy. That looks like a weird tie-dye shirt to me. Just saying. Okay. January 1st. He's got to have a good record, right? 62%. And you won the Checkatrade, which is what everybody wants. 15-3-6, my friends. That's a strong showing in the second half of the season, I think you can argue. Previous manager, 46%. So, automatically, looking better than previous manager. Maybe he's found... Maybe Sky Bet League 1 is his level. Maybe. January 1st, he comes in. Has 4 days... 4 days before the game, you could argue, to get the lads rallied, and then they lose. But then after that, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including this one, 6 losses total. 1, 2, 3 draws, and the rest are wins. Now, some of those are in the Checkatrade, but who cares? You beat Chelsea under 23s, you beat Bristol City, you beat Walsall, and you beat Huddersfield on penalties. I think you got to be happy with that. Right? Especially from a look at all the draws. My goodness, previous manager, can you get a win? Holy cow. In September and October, you get 1 league win. That is brutal. That kind of reminds me of Sterling Albion right now, where it's they finally got a win this past weekend, but prior to that, it was all draws, and they've not been able to score any goals. But if you could just turn a couple of these, it'd been a lot better. So, Leyton Orient. I'll make sure I get the year right. Here we go. Finished 8th. on 70 points. In the mix, right? Not, again, if 3 of those draws are wins, right? You get 6 more points, you jump Huddersfield, you're in 5th place. Now you still got to go through the playoffs and all that, but it's a much better proposition. So what are they expecting to do this year? Improvement? No, they're expected to go much further down. So that'll be a challenge for his managerial skills, right? Like, can he, because he's had a good start, right? Like, coming in strong, winning a trophy, helping recover, I would argue, some league position. Let's see, did we bring in any players to help us with that? From here on, 11K, 6 point, not of significant amounts. Maybe he's got some loans, so maybe that helped. And then let a player go on a free. Since then, a free and a loan. So it's not like they're pumping the cash into it. Goodness, they've been all over the place. But a bit of a resurgence, right? So 12th and then 8th. A drop to 14th would be a disappointment. So we'll have to see how that ends up, my friends. Oh, man, I'm loving this because it's so random. Like, if you look at their histories, right? Like, you're talking about the former Polish national manager who's managed also in Italy and won in Poland and Bournemouth and all that kind of stuff, goes to Wales and then to League One. And then you got Mateus here, Mr. Brazil, all the clubs, the Brazilian national team, Watford, and then takes a detour to Wales and is now in the championship and has been? I don't know, I just find that interesting. Christovos, his motivating skills have continued to drop, my friends. Shocking no one. Let's hop forward one more year. I thought this was going to be over, to be honest with you. Are we still at Swansea? Are we still at Leyton Orient? Let's find out. I'm thinking maybe there's a good chance they both are. That's going to be my guess. Oh, no. Oh, it was the sack. It was the sack. I'm thinking they both got sacked. Expectations. Knocked out by Man United in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup. Beat Millwall and Oxford on the way there. Qualified for the playoffs. Got knocked out by Fulham. Or did we already know this? I'm mixing up my seasons, I think, a little bit. Because this happened in October. So he didn't even get a whole year. Okay, I'm messed up on that. Okay. They finished 8th. 38% win ratio. 44, 21. I was looking, 38 is not great. 16, 12, and 14. It's all right. It's just not good enough. 54% out of the new manager. And we're getting a theme here with our guys, I think, unfortunately. October, whatever it was. Yeah, not a great start. Like, flying start. Look at that. Through August, you are, in the league? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1-1. You're feeling great about life. And then September hits, and it kind of goes like, it gets a little wobbly, and then it goes way not great in November. And then new guy comes in and goes on quite the undefeated streak. And then finishes off with a nice undefeated streak. That's just, what are they expected to do this year? 7th, so it's not like a dramatic improvement, but that's gutting. I thought they'd all be there. I thought they'd both be there. After he gets sacked, they drop the cash. That's a lot of players going out on loan. It seems to be his thing, doesn't it? Just haven't been able to get him back up. Just the struggle is real. Anthony O'Connor. I recognize him from the Cabin Teely save. That's interesting. So, my friends, that's what happened to Mateus. Do you think he's done? Do you think his reputation seems to take a bit of a hit? 2 and 3, 4 stars. Is he going to be like, man, I'm 57. I managed the Brazil national team. Not to a World Cup. I got him there, but I didn't go. I still think that's the most bizarre thing ever. Spaceman Extreme. Oh, no. Left Leyton Orient to go to Cardiff and then got probably sacked is what that looks like. Oh my. Oh, that must have gone real bad. That's less than 3 months, my friends. Oh, there's got to be a good story there. Okay, with Ladoria. Okay, we already knew that. Finished 8th. They beat Cardiff. When did they beat Cardiff? And then Cardiff hires him. You can't be serious. Whoa, what's happening here? They beat him on penalties. And then he signs like someplace down in here. Like 14th or whatever. Where did they end up finishing without him? I mean, he wasn't there all that long, let's be honest. Okay, they dropped for sure. So maybe good to get out, but oh, okay. Okay. I don't think we looked at his percentage. 3-2 and 8. 3-2 and 8. 87 days. This guy didn't do any better. I think it was a squad issue. I think you could argue it was a squad issue. If the guy you go get afterwards, 12 days later, goes 5-8 and 12 with a 20% win ratio, and you won 23% of the games, you could argue it's a squad issue. Oh, it's got to have been. Oh, that's got to be so bad though. He comes in on what, the 14th of November or September after this game. Wins his first game, if my math is right. Okay, hold on. We got to go back and look at the exact dates. September 14th to December 10th. From here to here. So yeah, they won 3 games. All the rest of them are losses and 2 draws. I cannot believe that. But again, look who comes after. The guy gets signed on like the 22nd of December, gets a draw, gets a win the FA Cup, gets a league win, nothing, gets a win. And then again, there's some draws scattered in there, but not significantly, actually not statistically better. Oh, that is so gutting. That's how it went down. I just want to like take a look at his 66% win ratio, 24-3 and 9. Not bad. I cannot believe like the just the insult of 87 days. Obviously it had not gone well, but 87 days and you still got relegated. How do you like them apples? That is crazy. Chris DeVos still around. So I guess, my friends, I thought this was going to be done. Let me know. Do you think Mateus and Spaceman are done? I'm going to go vacation 3 more years while I'm doing FM20 content. Hopefully you're watching that and hitting the like button on those. That really helps the channel. Like I said, I will be putting out a video eventually on here's what we're going to be doing from an experiment standpoint, but the first one is going to be sometime in December. So if you want to be a part of that, potentially pledge at patreon.com/grayhairgaming before the end of the month, if that's something you're interested in. I cannot believe they both got... I cannot believe that sacking. Oh my. All right, my friends. We'll see you then. Can't believe it.